Hello and salutations, it's me, Salty, welcome back to Sensoys, and today we're going over the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Lord Drakkon. I guess that's Evolution 3, and that means absolutely nothing to me. This was well beyond when I got out of Power Rangers. I understand that this is J.C. David Frank or Tommy Oliver of some sort or other. If you know a lot about Power Rangers, you can probably tell me. There's a reason why I bought this, and you'll see it when we start going over things. This was a PulseCon exclusive. Again, I don't remember how much it was. The price will be down here somewhere probably. So it's got this plastic slipcover over it. It says Power Rangers, translucent red with kind of broken white shards or other. And it basically just kind of follows it around, all the sides of the boxes. You can see the regular box under here. So it just kind of continues to include the top there, but not the bottom. The bottom is just regular legalese. So without the slipcover, this is what we're looking at. And we got the figure with his helmet, this kind of giant green effect. It looks like Saba back here on the back, and all these extra helmets down at the bottom. And these extra helmets are why I bought it, because they're all kind of damaged looking, and I figured that'd look really cool for a display, to swap them out with my other Power Rangers and all that. I was under the impression that we were getting all the helmets, but it looks like we only get yellow, pink, green, and red, so I don't see blue and black anywhere. Maybe they're hidden back there somewhere, but I don't see them anywhere. So on the side, we get Lord Drakkon, which is the same as the other side. On the back, I guess this is like a comic book or something that's kind of taped to it. Looks like a comic book. Maybe it's a poster. But you can see that's kind of the inspiration for it, I suppose. So I'm not sure which inspired which, whether the toy inspired this or vice versa, but this is what we got. And behind that, we have the read-up and the figure again. I'm not seeing the blue or the Black Ranger's helmet, so I'm guessing that we don't get those, which is really unfortunate, because I was hoping to get a complete set. All out of the way, I'm going to get him open, we'll look at all the accessories, and go over articulation, and we'll call it a day. Okay, there's deceptively a lot to go through with this. I figured, one figure and some accessories, no problem, but there's a lot. Unless you really know what you're doing with this green stuff, just leave it in the box. It looks a lot better in the box, because you have this extra effect. It's not all connected. You have this kind of like long tower piece that doesn't want to stand up on its own, and then you have pieces down here that are supposed to plug in and they don't want to cooperate. Kind of frustrating. First, we have two grabby hands, which are just on a simple hinge mechanism, one for the left, one for the right. We have Lord Drakkon's helmet, which actually looks pretty cool. I'll give it that. It looks like a White Ranger mixed with the Green Ranger, mixed with the Black Ranger, and I don't know. I think it looks pretty cool. So I'll give it that. Then we have Saba, which we've seen before. He has some gold on him, got the eyes painted and such, medallions and the like. Not the first time we've seen Saba. Then we have Lord Drakkon himself, which I think this is a decent enough likeness of J.C. David Frank, at least contemporarily. I've never seen the character before. A little bit of advice, when you go to remove this figure, the cape down here is stuck in a kind of plastic bubble, and in there you can see where the cape kind of plugs in on both shoulders, but there's a third one right there that doesn't really want to plug back in, so you're going to have to unplug the cape and pull the cape out through the back and pull the figure out from the front, and then you're going to have to kind of fight with it to get it back on. Also, getting the head on and off is a big pain in the butt, because you have to fight with not only the ball and the peg, but you have to fight with this kind of collar and the cape wanting to move, and this armor is very squishy and wants to move as well, so kind of a pain in the butt. And that's what he looks like with the helmet on. There you go. So that brings us to this whole thing. Ignore all the stuff off to the side. First, you get this kind of, I wouldn't say free-floating, you've got this part that's by itself, and it's supposed to stand up on its own, at least ostensibly, but it just falls. Unless it's supposed to be like that. I don't know what this is supposed to be or how it's supposed to work. I've looked for plugs, I've looked for, basically anything, but I guess maybe you could put Drakkon's arm up in there or something? I don't know. What kills me is this one, is the base here, because there's plugs right here that plug in front of the Green Ranger, like that. So it's supposed to stay plugged, but it comes right up. Same with in between the Red Ranger, there's a plug right there, right next to my finger, and there's a port down there on the bottom, and it just does not want to stay there. So I've pushed, and it just comes right back up. And there's the whole base. All these helmets, they all pop off, so you can use them like regular helmets if you want to. Or I guess you could, mix and match, move them around, or use different Ranger helmets if you chose to. There's the bottom of it. So this effect in of itself isn't bad because it's just supposed to lay there. But I don't like how when you port it here that it does that. Like it goes over those helmets. I feel like it should go like down in front of them and all around them and everything. So I don't know, unless this is supposed to work like that, or I don't know. It's a mess, is what it is. Maybe some super glue will fix this problem and keep them where they're supposed to be. And that leaves us with articulation for Lord Drakkon. Again, keeping with the Hasbro Pulse theme, I have some bowing and warping in the legs. It seems like every single package I've opened has had that, and it's really, really getting on my last nerve. Because of his hair and cape, he can't look up at all. That's as far down as he can look. Hair and cape kind of prevent him from going any further side to side than that. Kind of same with the tilt. The armor is soft enough that you can kind of do 360 in the shoulder, but you kind of have to work with it, and it's very frustrating. Between the butterfly joint, the armor, and the cape, doing a 360 is really frustrating, but you got to work around a bunch of extra crap. Shoulder comes up at a 90, bicep swivel, butterfly joints go backwards and forwards, double joint in the elbow comes up that far, wrist swivel, all 4 wrists pivot in and out. He's got the standard articulation in the abdomen that the rest of the line has, allows him to lean forward that far. He would lean back further if it weren't for the cape, which again, you can take the cape off if you want to. Side to side, swivel, kicks forward at 90, kicks back about that far, kicks out about that far, thigh swivel, double joint in the knee comes up that far, boot swivel. If you bring the ankle out to the side and then bring it back and then correct it, it'll go back that far. You only have to do that because there is that little bump out there on the leg. Unfortunately, that's all the further it can go. Articulation with the helmet, can't really go back at all because the helmet sinks into the collar. Can look down. Again, the collar messes with the helmet, so that's really all the further he can go left and right. And almost no tilt to speak of. And that's really all I got for today. It's a cool setup, I suppose. I like the variety of accessories, and I like all this green lighting. Like, I like how it looks. I just wish it was a bit more clear on how you're supposed to use all this, and I wish that these pegs down here at the helmets actually worked. The cape is incredibly frustrating. If I was a child and was given this as a gift, that cape would come off and probably go in the trash. I'm just telling you, it's really frustrating. Right now, it's acting as a kickstand to keep him from falling over. I guess it does serve some kind of purpose. If you are a Power Rangers aficionado, comment down below and let me know who Lord Drakkon really is. The extent of my knowledge is that he's J.C. David Frank or like an evil Tommy or something, and then I think there's something to do with Psycho Rangers or so. I don't know. This is well past my time with Power Rangers, so like I mentioned, I got it for the helmets. If you liked the video or you like what you saw, and all that I ask is that you like the video and subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me and it always helps, and I very much appreciate it. Until next time, I'm Salty, signing off.